Fairy's Gift by Shibram Chakraborty.
Once there lived a young prince called Amrityu with his incredible wit and intelligence. But he was no good at writing. Once his father, who was the king, but sometimes found time to tutor him, commented that his writing seemed like an ant dipped in ink walking over a sheet of paper. Amrityu was just 5 years old. His father took another sheet of paper and wrote in his beautiful hand, writing a line from a poem. The king showed his son the paper and said,
"Can't you write like this?"
Amrityu thought for a while and said,
Let me grow up like you, then I will.
This startled the king. He realized that it was true, that his expectation from his son at such an early age to be as skilled as him was not justified. Amrityu had a knack for solving problems and spent hours playing chess, puzzles and games to sharpen his reasoning. He also had a laboratory where he loved experimenting with objects. Amrityu slowly grew to become an excellent problem solver who could recognize patterns and find different paths to a goal. He believed that there is always a choice that leads him to the goal, and it may not be by harming others. He met kings and queens from distant lands during buffets arranged by his father to honor guests. Prince Amrityu happened to startle them with his cleverness and wit. On a beautiful, bright day, Amrityu was examining the flowers at the royal gardens. He noticed a bee entering a flower. He was inquisitive and peeped in to see what the bee was doing inside. The bee got startled and buzzed out immediately and started showing her protest. Amrityu realized he had disturbed the privacy of the bee, and he had no business looking into others' business. He stooped and apologized to the little bee. He said,
Dear bee, you provide honey for free. That's all I need to enjoy, but I want to know you more, as I am finding mundane chores a bore. Will you reveal yourself to me?
The bee turned into a bright flash. When the prince reopened his eyes, he saw a radiant fairy floating above. With a soft, charming voice like tinkling bells, the fairy spoke.
Dear Amrityu, I am Prakriti, fairy of the royal gardens. You have shown great wisdom and goodness of heart by your openness and honesty. I am here to reveal the secrets to this world. I shall give you 3 wishes. Choose them wisely, for you shall receive whatever you ask for.
Amrityu was now in trouble, as he had billions of wishes and he didn't know which ones to select. He then remembered the conversation he had heard while passing the dining room. His father has been worried about a kingdom that was planning to attack theirs. Amrityu wanted to help, so he quickly thought a monster that can remove the defenses of the enemy would be great.
I wish for an animal named Wank.
What kind of name is it, Prince?
Said the fairy.
Wank, Amrityu said.
Yes, Wank. It should be able to devour all the wicked enemies of my kingdom with its powerful jaws.
Amrityu thought this would keep the kingdom safe from the attackers.
The fairy waved her wand, and with a loud plop, a giant fluffy white rabbit appeared. His glistening fangs were proof enough of his capabilities in devouring the enemies.
Amrityu thought Wank's soft, innocent looks were cute, but trusted his wish had been fulfilled. He found Wank as a wonderful, playful pet. After playing for a while in the meadows, they went back to the palace. The royal guards greeted them and became amused by Wank.
But after all the exercises, Wank felt a grumble in his stomach. He pointed at his stomach and signaled that he was hungry. But Amrityu was busy instructing the guards about making arrangements for Wank's stay. Wank could not wait any longer. He picked up a royal guard and started munching on him. The other guards, alerted by the cries, wanted to rescue him and started throwing spears. Wank became angry and started to wreak havoc. It bounded around, nibbling the shields and swords of the guards with its strong incisors. The guards yelled and fled from the deranged bunny. In minutes, Wank had driven all the guards out of the palace. Amrityu had quickly climbed onto a chandelier and was hanging helplessly. He called for the fairy and asked her to make Wank disappear. Amrityu came down and realized he had only one wish left. He considered it more carefully. Turning to the Prakriti, he asked,
Could I have 3 more wishes instead of 1? I promise to use them well. Prakriti saw the wisdom in the prince's thoughtful eyes and wanted to give him a chance to rectify his past. With a wave of her dainty wrist, she granted his request. Overjoyed, Amrityu exclaimed,
I wish for 3 more wishes.
Prakriti chuckled at the clever prince's attempt to multiply his wishes and granted him 3 more. Amrityu became greedy as he wanted to collect as many wishes as he could and continued asking for more wishes, and the generous fairy kept allowing it, curious to see what he would do with them. Soon, Amrityu had amassed dozens of wishes. At first, he wished for sensible things, bountiful orchards and farms, peaceful relations with neighboring kingdoms, the best tutors for his education. But intoxicated with all the possibilities, Amrityu got carried away. His wishes became wilder and wilder. He wished for gemstone mountains, golf courses at the place where rice could be grown, rivers overflowing with chocolate, swimming pools full of jelly. Amrityu lost his restraint. He asked for a theatre where he and his countrymen could watch videos all year round. Finally, Prakriti gently stopped him.
Dear Prince, the wishes are getting out of hand. If you spend too much time on entertainment, your purpose of life is lost. Reflect carefully, as your choices should reflect usefulness for yourself and others. Amrityu paused, and he humbly apologized.
I am glad that you stopped me being carried away by too much freedom, Prakriti. I let these wishes consume me and forgot their purpose. I understand selfish dreams leave me unfulfilled in the end, but on serving my people, I shall feel fulfilled inside.
Amrityu transformed into the most beloved ruler the kingdom had ever known. He was always judicious and fair, using his brilliant mind to improve the lives of his subjects. And he never forgot Prakriti's lesson on the responsibilities that come with power and privilege. Amrityu dedicated his rule to his kind mother, who had raised him on her gentle wisdom rather than force. She guided him with reason, and he cherished her unconditional love. In the future, Amrityu hoped to raise his own children with such care. The prince reigned wisely for many years, keeping his kingdom safe and happy through his thoughtful leadership. And the fairy Prakriti kept watch over the kingdom, pleased to see wishes used for good.